and new subscribers. I am Goddess High Priestess Empress Alba Pantera. Welcome all to the channel, returning and new subscribers. Shout out to the members. Okay. We always gonna give that major shout out to the members. Y'all already know the vibe. All right, y'all. We got the full moon in Taurus. Saturn went direct. Plain and simple. Stepping out the imagination and taking the steps based on what it is that we imagine our lives to be. Let's put it that way. So we're going to look at the vibes, y'all. Okay? Let's take a look and see and make sure everything is up, though. Man, no, that don't belong there. May you all be blessed well. You know what I mean? What planetary are we in right now? Let me refresh this, but it's saying Mars. So we about to come in with this spiritual warrior truth. Yeah, it's the Mars hour. All right. Let me see what the energy is. Oh, uh-oh. Here come the channel. Oh. Oh, shit. All right. Hold on. Okay. Upon entering, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up energy button so this message gets out to your fellow gods and goddesses, mystics, seers, oracles, empresses, emperors, all of it that has to do with being fully human and fully divine and really tapping in, no longer being afraid and all this other nonsense, you feel? Okay. 211 on the screen is transformation for me. Welcome, beautiful. Yo. Let me see. What's the energy for the collective? Full moon in Taurus, Saturn direct. 7 of Cups. Well, the Taurus full moon is connected to the 7 of Pentacles. Polar opposite energy. The 7 of Cups is Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio to be exact. Ooh, you got to take... Okay. Here we go. Here we go. So the energy right now is... Get up out of this imagination. Now step into taking it step by step based on what it is you want to bring into reality. Okay. Let me adjust this here. I just heard a whole bot say mission abort, abort, abort. Wait. Hold up, y'all. Let's go. Did it set it? All right. So the 7 of Cups speaks of having options, but take the path. Something about taking the path that is uncomfortable. Why is it uncomfortable? Because you don't know what's next. All of the other ones, all other 6, you know exactly what comes from it. You're comfortable in going in that direction. But you're being asked to choose the direction as it relates to you doing something that's out of your comfort zone. Now, that also means in doing something coming out of your comfort zone, you're aligning a lot more with your north node and not sticking to the south node of doing something that has to do with the past life habit. Instead of you utilizing what you can from that past life into this life, but not moving in the way as you're moving in the previous version, where the energy and the frequency and vibration of that realm that you were in, or that perception that you were in, is no longer the same as it is now because you have evolved. Okay. So 7 of Cups. So this full moon in Taurus is helping some of y'all sift through these options and going towards what is connected to you releasing outdated beliefs. So with that being, oh, the 4 of Swords, Jupiter, Libra. Sevenfold, 777. Welcome, my love. Let's see what the message of surrender is. Look at that. Surrender your fear of change. That came out in the message for TikTok earlier today. In regards to don't be afraid of the changes, and don't allow fear to stop you from changing. What's the message of surrender for the collective? Ooh. Surrender frustration. Hold on, I gotta grab this. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so your message is surrender frustration. You could be a manifester, or a manifesting generator. And the fact that it says frustration, if you are a generator or manifesting generator, frustration indicates you are not using your energy efficiently and forcing an outcome rather than flowing in the current energy. Okay, so whether you are a generator or a manifesting generator or not, frustration indicates you are not using your energy efficiently and forcing an outcome rather than flowing in the current energy. Okay, so following the current energy. So here's where the G comes in. Notice the difference. The only difference between the word sin, which is missing a target, and the word sign is the G that's in the word sign. Now that G can also be that God version of you, not flowing with the current of the generator. You're the one that generates your reality by what it is that you're thinking. You're in control of that. You just have to slow it down so that you can first notice when you are in control, which is all the time. All the time. They say God is good all the time. That just came from left. From a logical standpoint. Anyway, because when you look at the universal law, we're not looking at the good and bad, right or wrong. It's just cause and effect. See, when you have a different perspective, your perspective determines your dimension. So if you're thinking from a world of good or bad, or you're controlling your thoughts based on good or bad, right or wrong, it'll keep you at a third dimensional perceptive state, which is where you'll be experiencing that duality. But if you're not aware as to the way to bring balance into it, for example, this surrender of frustration, most people would feel that it's part of the game to success. But that all comes from the game of success, where people are competing against one another. And the competition is really coming from the seeds being planted based on who can struggle the most to come out of it first. Or to come out of it with strength and courage, when you really don't got to even go that route, especially when you're living in the most authentic expression of yourself. there is no competition. That doesn't exist in that realm. I know we're from one thing to the other, but listen. Surrender frustration. Some of you are literally addicted to frustrations. This doesn't have to be work, other people. This could be with yourself. You are addicted to certain situations that produce frustration. Now, we know that. You take note of it. You acknowledge it for what it is. And at that point is when you can change it. But the more you disregard it, or what we would call excuses, the more excuses you bring into this energy, the more you're actually nurturing it. You're wanting to remove it out of your life, but you're doing things that is actually bringing it closer to you. So with this full moon in Taurus, okay, Taurus represents, first and foremost, it does connect to the second house, Venus energy. It's ruled by Venus. So it does have a lot to do with beauty, love, your senses, you know, what you sense when it comes to beauty as it relates to your hearing, your sight, your smell, taste, and touch. And then beyond that, six senses or sixth dimension and above. With the full moon, it's about you cleansing, purifying, closing out a cycle, to close out a cycle, and for it to actually to see the fruition of the seeds planted from the new moon energy. So the new moon in Taurus to now would be whatever you planted then during the new moon is coming to a culmination now during this full moon in Taurus, with Saturn going direct on top of that, and the fact that the energy of this full moon is the Seven of Pentacles, which is Saturn in Taurus. Now Saturn is asking you, working with you, not even asking you, it's working with you in terms of, all right, let's bring more beauty, let's bring more value, let's bring more worth into your life. So obviously there are certain things you're gonna have to close out that prevents you from doing that. Whether if it's an outdated belief that prevents you from stepping into your knowing, or if this is a tradition that you're holding on to, because with Saturn there, now we're also speaking into the energy of authority figures or traditions or lifetimes. Something here in regards to doing something lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because no one is wanting to do something different, or wanting to, but then having fear to do so. And this fear is causing frustration because you know better, but is it something that you are willing to do better in? And once you find that strength and courage and willpower to do so, is when you start to experience more of what was frustrating you, so you can actually get rid of it, you know, take care of it, handle it, instead of dealing with the situation. Because as long as you deal with something, you're going to keep the game going. Car dealer, whatever deal you got is something that's actually growing. If it's going to be handled, you're going to have to grab it, and you're going to have to do what you're going to do with it based on where you place it. So if you place it into a position of it being dissolved, then that's where it's going. If you're handling something to deal with it again, then you're going to keep the game going. The key is to handle it and dissolve it. So now let's see what else comes out. Surrender your desire to control people. Now, this could be being frustrated with people who are not changing. It's a misuse of each one teach one in a direction where someone doesn't want to be taught. And they can feel as though you are wanting to control them. On another note, it's time to surrender, let go of those people who have a desire to control you. Just to speak on both sides, because a lot is going on based off reflection. Where you are at internally, as you rise up in dimensions or perceptions, you become the alchemist of your life, which means now you're more in control of what's going on, because you're handling whatever it is that you got going on within you. If you handle it within you, you'll be able to handle it outside of you. That's basically the art of war. where you go into a combat with your opponent without physically being there or touching them or being involved or even having to respond in a way that they feel as though you were there or something to that extent. But it's more so before they can even bust a move, basically thinking twice about doing so. So handling situations before they even arrive to you. Surrender your desire to control people. And this is staying here at the bottom of the deck. Let me see. And there you go. Surrender your fear of change. And surrender to the wisdom of your body, the exact card of Taurus energy. Listen to your body's message about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. So the only things you want to be moving forward with are those things that empower you, energize you, bring you joy. Because if it's doing the opposite, that's a clear indication that something is being pulled from you and it's leaving you drained. That's a big part of this full moon in Taurus in regards to surrendering outdated beliefs or ways of doing things, patterns. You know? Okay. So, now that we know that that was what was going on in the energy, let's get to it. Let's transcend this. Let's get back on track. Yeah. Let's get back on track. There we go. As I was about to say, there's something you're being made aware of, because I was blinking a whole lot as these cards was about to come out. She stayed coming out. This is, I have her deck and the African goddesses together. But when she ready to pop out, she gonna pop out 13, because she's letting you know that it's time for you to really tap into your shadow, the darkness of you. It's a lot of beauty in the darkness. There's a lot of chaos, yes, but there's beauty in the chaos when you can bring order to it. Some of you gone through situations where, so, you know, letting go of these outdated beliefs is going to help you to realize your ability to bring order to chaos. What is the galactic signature of today? The blue magnetic monkey. I unify in order to play. So putting things together in order to play the game of life, to bring it to order. Okay. I'm guided by my own power double. The blue magnetic monkey. So the archetype of the day of today, full moon in Taurus, Saturn going direct, is the archetype of the higher self. We got Lilith coming out here first, the dark divine mother of creation, with 2 owls. For some of you, the owl may be of significance, your spirit animal totem. Bliss. Oh, it's right here. Lilith number 13. When Lilith shows up, some of y'all been thrown up. You're releasing something of, obviously, something that is not, it's not in connection to you. For some of you, this is actually a spirit. Or, on another note, congratulations for those of you that are conceiving. When Lilith shows up in a reading, it's time to unleash who you truly are. Where have you allowed others to demonize, suppress, and control you? Stand in your power as the Dark Mother of creation once did. Lilith was rebellious and untamed as a wild tree. In ancient occult symbology, the tree is tied to goddesses, fertility, and the divine feminine. Unfortunately, her roots were uprooted and she was ousted from paradise. This oracle card invokes her wild and rebellious nature. She, as other empowered women in biblical texts, was painted as a vengeance-seeking demon to instill fear and submission in women, which is the complete opposite. But that's the fear that was placed into the feminine principle, whether it be a man or a woman, because the feminine principle, if we're looking at this from the divine feminine, divine masculine, these are just energies, or the usage of one's left and right brain, or the balance between light and dark. In her story in the Talmud, Lilith was the first woman before Eve. God created Adam and Lilith from the dust as opposed to Eve, who came from Adam's rib. Now, Eve also comes from spirit when we're looking at the actual word and what it means. Because it comes up to, you move the V, because the thing about the English language, you gotta, it's symbolism. The English language and the alphabet is symbolism in itself. So when you move that E from the center to its primordial position, you get the word V. Now V is 22, which is Taurus energy, master builder energy. And being that it's stated in the text that she was created from Adam, or atom, A-T-O-M, rib, it's more so being created from spirit, because the rib is the gate of the lungs, basically. One of the organs, being spirit, lungs, is connected to that. Okay. Lilith, biblical story, shows the importance of harmonizing and integrating the dark feminine, the dark divine masculine and feminine shadows in this world. Neither one is better than the other. Both are needed and valid. Her archetype and plight are a vessel for collective healing. When we resolve this ancient wound within ourselves individually, we are shifting humanity. So with Pluto going to Aquarius, this is specific to the collective ascension into this type of energy of, combining both the shadows and the light. You don't just have daytime, 23:33 on the timer. You have the daytime, you also have the nighttime. So to have fear when it comes to the shadows, or what the shadows entails, or what's within that space, that's blasphemy. But let's continue. Okay. So that's another thing that's changing with this full moon in Taurus and Saturn going direct. In terms of the message from source, look at that. Black moon, Lilith, and Taurus. You are worthy. The moon is in Taurus. Is full moon in Lilith. Soul ascension. 2 and 38. 2, 13, 2, and 38. Now, the dark divine mother of creation says you are worthy for this soul ascension. And this full moon in Taurus, but the black moon, Lilith, and Taurus card comes out. Cows. Well, cattle. I just heard message from Hathor. Message from Hathor. Hold on. Message from Hathor. Defensive expression, cut it out. Cut out defensive expression because it's blocking your sense of worth. Yeah. Black Moon, Lilith, and Taurus, you are worthy. Perhaps you are frustrated over not being paid enough for your work, or you have negative self-talk about your body because of external opinions. You may also feel tension around your worth and value in relationships. Now it's time to heal. When a Black Moon, Lilith, and Taurus oracle card shows up, the universe wants you to alchemize the shadow holding you back from true abundance. Taurus exudes love, beauty, relationships, money, the natural world, values, food, luxury, and abundance. When Black Moon Lilith is here, it can cast a shadow. Power struggles in these areas can come up in the life of someone with this in their natal chart. Now, we're going to alchemize this here literature, okay? The shadow that's being casted is not, this is what I'm getting from this, is not a shadow that's being casted, although this card is out here. But what's happening is you're coming out of that shadow. You're coming out of that shadow because Saturn has gone direct. So whatever you thought, whatever it was that you were delusional about, when it comes to areas in terms of, you know, you empowering yourself, feeling that love and beauty for yourself, that relationship with yourself, your relationship with money or currency or energy for that matter, your relationship with food, your relationship to the perception of luxury, all of that is changing. First and foremost, you got to allow that change though. It's not just going to change. You have to allow that change by you taking the steps towards it, taking practical actions, decisions towards that change. While it was retrograde since June in the sign of Pisces, you were shown a lot of the things that will place you into this power struggle. The struggle first and foremost because power is already within you, and power comes from the heart and knowledge and the crown. So between here and here, if there's a struggle when it comes to your power struggles, is because you're out of connection with your heart chakra to your crown and beyond. You're surviving through just these first three. But in order for you to release yourself from any type of struggle of power, because the soul within the heart chakra is the one that's giving you this life and connection to spirit or air or breath of life, that connection, you won't fully have it. And it puts you in this position of the lower chakras, whatever struggles, guilt, shame, anger, frustration that comes with it. That's where you'll keep moving through in survival mode until you recognize that when you start doing things for you, you're connecting to your heart chakra. You're not going against yourself anymore. And now you speak truth, you see it, you know it, and that's the energy you continue to vibrate from. But as long as you're disconnected from the love that you can speak, see, and know, as long as you keep yourself away from there, you're going to be stuck to anything that anyone believes as your own belief. Okay? So the moment you're able to see, acknowledge where the lies are, to connect to the truth, the moment you can see that truth, allow yourself to rise up in frequency or through your chakras. Which will also mean to connect to that. You know, this is why it's important to be mindful as to what it is that you have in your surroundings and what it is that you're surrounded by. Because when that saying that, you know, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only be transformed, and it's fluid, water, emotions, energy, and motion. You're feeling everything that's going on around you before it even gets to you. So obviously you have many moments where you can make a decision as far as what to be in and what not to. based on the way you carry yourself and the way you see your worth. Okay? I don't feel we're going to be having a long message because the sign is there. And the sin is missing the bullseye, the target. But when you read the signs, you don't miss the target. You know what I mean? That was also that shift, that conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus on the 20th of April. As long as you can read the signs of nature, you shall not perish, because people perish for the lack of knowledge, and the knowledge is coming from, you know, that which is in connection to source, to all, to universal law. You know, it takes you out of these restrictions that are of human construct without a connection to the soul or to the heart. And it's just all coming from greed. Black Moon Lilith and Virgo. Release perfectionism, the Black Madonna, sacred dark goddess mother. Step into your spiritual magic, because that's where you'll see expansion. In order for you to build a solid foundation, it's time for you to step into your spiritual magic, which means the embodiment of the feminine and the masculine. This world has been too practical without the essence of the feminine, which nothing in creation can exist without that stage of incubation at all. It just can't be. It has to go through a process where it can grow within darkness, or darkness is correlated to chaos, but it's called chaos because no one knows what to do with it. But when you bring order into that chaos is when you become the alchemist, because it's not necessarily that it's chaotic. You would just have to have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and the heart tuned into the proper frequency, or you tune into the heart, which is always at that frequency, for you to rise up into that energy to even see that chaos is love. Because chaos is only something. Chaos is more so the energy of being in a situation you don't know what to do about it. But when you step into this spiritual magic in the midst of chaos, you can bring order to it. It allows you to see the beauty of so many things combined as one, and combined as one and forming one thing. What is going on right now? What I'm saying? Just channeling energy. I literally, as I'm saying that, when I get into that type of expression, I feel as though I'm standing on Saturn's rings and just speaking into space. So excuse me. Okay, if the message is on some, what the fuck, you'll get it when you're supposed to. This language will resonate with your frequency when it's supposed to. So that's a message here for some of you. There's certain things that you know. There's certain ways that you express yourself that you don't, because you have this fear that people won't understand you. The main motto on this channel: no one is here to understand you but you, because understanding is a personal, 3434 on the clock, personal affair. Understanding is a personal affair. No one's here to understand you but you. Notice the type of interaction you have and the feelings that you feel that go through your body when you are explaining yourself to someone to understand you. The moment that you take all that power back and understand yourself, the main thing that's going to happen, you're going to see yourself stopping yourself, but from explaining yourself to people. And it will allow you to be in the space of being quiet in moments where you may even defend yourself, but it's just falling on deaf ears. Doesn't mean anything to who you're stating what you're stating to. They say get one more message. This is wild. What type of energy this is? I'm not questioning it, but we gonna go with it. We got one more message of surrender. This is some wild stuff here. What's this? The rabbit. Opportunity, birth, and creativity. You are being guided to clean out your mental closet, release emotional baggage, find your inner child, and design your life your way. I know why this is happening this way, because this energy is so intense that there's a message that's going to come out soon, but it's not coming out now. It's in the form of protection, because some of you have this an ability to quantum leap at this very moment, but you can bring yourself right back to a situation instead of taking accountability for where you're at now and the decision that you make now. Not taking accountability for that, for some, that's a possibility here. I could feel it very strongly. Is the reason why this message is the way it is right now. It doesn't matter if you're watching this now during the live or on repeat during the full moon and Taurus and Saturn going direct. But the fact that you saw this right now, whenever this is your moment, as it says here, to release emotional baggage. Any baggage that you're still holding on to as it relates to you not connecting with situations or experiences that match your worth, or feeling sorry for yourself for connecting to situations that didn't, release that. This message is about releasing that. And the way to do so is to find your inner child. Especially if it's an experience that you may not be proud of. All of it is part of your journey. All of it are just building blocks. For some of you, it's about closing out a cycle of your past life. You're building to demolish it so that way you can build something completely different. But the inner child has been looking for something that places you in certain experiences. But until that wound is healed, these experiences that you experience are just a reflection of the pain, not the joy that you're looking for. And once you acknowledge that what's not bringing you joy and releasing those things that attempt to rob you from it, then you can now step into designing life your way, which also ties into surrendering outdated beliefs. Okay, let's get one more. Ooh, you got two. And look who you got. I haven't seen this baby in a minute out here for y'all. The unicorn and the horse. Speaking of transformation, you're going to have to open up your eye. Mind you, that's the line I didn't read. It says open your eyes, but the way it said eyes is the reason why I didn't read it, because I was feeling more so of the eye. And look at what comes out here, the unicorn with the horn that comes out of the pineal gland. The unicorn is a representation of being an extension to source power through your mind's eye. With the horse is Sagittarius energy. I see. This is, wow. You are being guided to have faith in yourself, the knowledge you possess, and the magic of the universe. You are where you are supposed to be. Feel your way through each segment of your life. You will clearly see your next move and take action. Big results are the ripple effect of inspired action. Yeah, there's something about this message that really feels connected to, okay, not so much. Let's not give so much. Because it's almost coming across as if I wasn't even supposed to do this live right now. I'm not even going to hold you. But, okay. You are being guided to break free from chaos and confusion of life. Take action and expand into your new journey, because there's something going on where people are not realizing the intensity of the energy that we're in right now, or the portal that is open right now. We mentioned this on, what was that, the 11:11 reading too? It's 6:50, so yeah, probably it was that 11:11 reading. Take action and expand into your new journey, creating balance of the mind, body, and soul. There are new and exciting opportunities waiting for you. All you must do is take the first steps towards them. Literally, why the Seven of Cups came out here first, because there's still something that some of you are healing from. I feel as though with the full moon and it having to do with results, culmination, completion, forgiveness is the key in order for you to open that door to step into, you know, the results of completing that Taurian energy, that Venusian lesson you went through in terms of seeing your love for self, even your desire for luxury, beauty, and things of that nature. Okay, so that's your message. I feel as though I'll be back with another one, because this 4:20, 42, 22, 1 o'clock, yeah. I'll be back with another one. We probably be listening to music for real. But, yeah, I got this. This energy is something else, because I'll have to come back, because it feels as though there could be either energy around you or something that's looking into this for information. And this is the only, okay, this is the scenario I'm seeing, where someone was supposed to see what the next step is in your life, and they only had one chance to look into what it is you're experiencing. Let's say if someone's doing some type of mirror magic, especially with Taurus involved, because that's beauty. I'm looking at 111 on the screen. They only had one chance to look into your situation, and they wasted it on this. But you got a lot of information from this too. But at the same time, that's the energy I'm getting from it. It's yeah. We'll see what that is in the next one, because they won't be able to look into the next one. Because if I'm sensing this, I can see it. They didn't want me to see that. Because it seems as though the way that candlelight is so still right now, based on what I'm saying, this is an example of be careful what you wish for. It was just 44:33. It does feel as though 44:55, as if it was a monitoring spirit. Now, the way I'm set up in the spiritual realm, I'm literally still here on this screen only because I'm contemplating if I should go that far, or I mean, either way, it's not gonna go the way they want it to be. However, y'all collective, my loves, just know we are in a whole different realm of reality where I guess you would say Guardians of the Galaxy. And with that, my loves, no worries. All is well. All is well. All is well. All is well.